Pickacard. Why are you main character and how is it healing others? Here are your options and I'll see what you're reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen. And your downloads go as follows. You're seeing things incredibly different these days. Your heart is changing with the butterfly indicating a lot of changes, a lot of beauty, and a lot of unexpected turns. I guess life is twists and turns, right? Also, there's a big softening. So if you've had a lot of walls up in your heart chakra, I feel like that is definitely softening and it is evolving. And what I'm hearing in my mind right now is that it is time. So very interesting. Also, what's interesting is that I did not know that tucked away, my little wand is pink, indicating heart chakra energy as well. Something about love is definitely here for you. You definitely have a strong inner dialogue. Many ways are developing for you now, ways that you are going to, you're going to see doors opening in places that you've never been before. And I see travel, or I see you moving. It could be a metaphoric movement, right? It doesn't always have to be a physical movement. But I definitely see you moving into places that you never ever thought that you would go. I have written down also that you are iconic. Everything that you touch turns to gold. So something about money here, quite a bit about love. And we are going to get more information on how you are main character and why is this really healing for others. I just thought this was a little bit of a twist. So let's do this in 3, 2, 1. Pardon me. Okay, to be perfectly frank, I feel like pile number 1, with these 2 cards right here, I feel like you have found the secret sauce to life. I feel like you are someone that definitely does dance with life right now, do something, charge up your energy. I feel like you are main character because you're doing exactly that. You're doing that which gives you, I heard the word exuberant. So maybe you're feeling exuberant. Maybe you're excited. Maybe this has been a pivotal time for you. And I heard that you're actually, I don't want to say in danger of settling in, of course. It's not a danger of settling in, but I feel like you're not going to quite catch a break in getting used to this phase of life of you being main character in this manner. And the reason being is that with the High Priestess, this tells me that a lot of these mysteries and secrets that maybe perhaps you've been holding onto yourself are about to be revealed, and you are actually serving as inspiration to other people. So while you have had a little bit of a chance to really revel in this, whatever this is, it's a new project, it's a new hobby, maybe you're learning how to cook differently, maybe you are going out and dancing, you're learning salsa, you're learning belly dancing, I don't know what the thing is. But whatever this is, I feel like it is actually shooketh your community for some reason, some way, somehow. And pile number 1, I am here to say that you're breaking ground, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. And that is the point of this. It's great when we're main character, and I love those kind of readings, but I also want to know like how it affects and how it impacts other people around you. Because after all, I do feel like we live in a kind of very dualistic world, right? And a lot of undercurrents and energies we're not really privy to, or we don't even think about. So here we are. Pile number 1. So you dance with life, and you definitely have, I mean, your intuition is on fleek. It's on point. You know what is going on right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of charms just because we can. So how are you a main character? And then we're going to explore, why is this healing to others? Well, I can't not grab that one. That juicy pen standing out. And sure. So pile number 1. Let's look at these little charmies. I don't even know what this is. I guess it's just a coin. Ooh, pretty. Yeah. Well, it's got a big old like tree in the back right here. I guess I can like magnify that with a zoom thingy. But I feel like, yeah, you are finding vitality and you are embracing that. Choose optimism. Pile number 3, I feel like you are breaking conventionality or breaking outside of the box. I'm hearing Jack in the Box done broke out, okay? So whatever that means to you, that's what it is. This is how you are main character. And then it says friend, but honestly, I saw the word forward. So I feel like moving forward, it's going to have a massive impact on your life and on the lives of other people. Ooh, you're writing a new contract. Read and understood the whole contract. Look at all these little stars right here, present. And I feel like you are writing your own personal contract. And you're understanding that any contract moving from here on out, moving forward, are all going to be something that you read and understood. But not only that, that perhaps you even drafted yourself. So we love this for you. I've got the ruby for abundance. I love that. That's incredibly beautiful as well. I feel like you're feeling abundant in even your definition, because are you seeing the situation accurately? I feel like with the eye horse right here is really indicating that you are starting to see things very differently. And I was inspired to bring out this hand. I've had it for a while. I didn't know what I was going to use it for. I just really love it. So that's why she's here, in case you're wondering. But pile number 1, something about the heartbeat. Pause and a heart. So something about maybe your pet has a voice. Your pet could have a voice, and maybe your pet could be trying to tell you something. But how are you main character is that maybe you really draw by naturally animals, pets. It could be even wildlife. I don't know. But something about that, maybe you give pets a voice, and that could be pertinent to you. Maybe you work for a veterinary or clinic or something like that, or animals are just drawn to you. And your main character, pile number 1, because I mean, if you gotta, you gotta. If you gotta flip the table, then you're gonna flip the table. Okay, you're just gonna do. So you could be known as somebody who might be a little bit, you could have a little bit of a temper, and same, I'm just going to say. How are you main character? As hope. And you are divinely protected in this hope. Now, a lot of times, pile number 1, I feel like when we hope, it's a little bit elusive. It's a little bit mysterious. It's a little bit, I don't know, otherworldly. And I feel like with this hope, it is very pragmatic. It is very doable. It is very much protected. And maybe it could have to do with your abundance, because I didn't really know what to place. But intuitively, I placed it on the tree of life, but also on the coin, right? So we have love right here. So love is being referenced. Again, maybe a love of animals, a love to choose optimism. And maybe perhaps someone is hope. Here's hope again. Breast cancer survivor or a survivor of some sort. And we love that for you. So there is hope. Do not give hope away. Don't ignore hope. And then we have the key right here. I love that key. And we have the nimbus again. This is that little divine protection. There's another word for it, and I always call it the nimbus, and y'all call it something different, but I forget what it is. The infinity symbol. So on the bottom of the deck, there's actually a person here. I'm all trying to get in there. There's a little person right there. So this is the key. Something about you providing a key for other people to really engage with, relate to, and be inspired so that they too can write their own contracts. So pile number 1, you are definitely main character. And one of the reasons, and probably the biggest reason right here, your main character, because you follow your intuition, because you are privy to secrets on the other side, because you really love to dance with life. You love to experiment. You'd like to try different things as well. And pile number one, I'm just going to say that we absolutely love this for you. So next we're going to look at how is this healing others? How is your glow up, or you being the main character, really serving to help develop, help inspire, and help heal people as well around you? But before we do that, pile number one, if you're liking these kind of readings, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit that notification bell. And let me know what you think of the reading. Pile number one. This is healing for other people. You have the Moon. You have the Three of Swords. Ooh. You have the Seven of Wands. You have the Fool. Hello. And you have the Seven of Pentacles. That one straight jumped out of my hand. Grabbing that bag, are ya? So pile number one, I heard pile number three in my mind. So if you're in between two piles, and that might be, you know, an indication that you might have something there as well. I have no idea because I haven't read that yet. I started with one. So I'm going to say pile number one, how this is healing other people is I feel like because you have the High Priestess right here, and then all of a sudden we have this Moon present with the Three of Swords. I feel like you are, your glow up, your main character-ness, is that a word? Main character-ness, I should name it, is really healing other people because it's serving to really help people look at things differently. I feel like perhaps even, I don't want to say like conspiracy theory, but it doesn't even have to be that deep. It could be closer to home, okay? This could be that people took everything for granted and they don't really understand and comprehend. They want to explore a little bit more about themselves, a little bit more about their nature and what it is that is making them happy or doesn't make them happy. I'm hearing commercialism. There is also a new show that came on Amazon. Nope. It is a new show that's about consumerism that I think you would really benefit from watching. This is how you are main character, because I feel like you're exposing all of these things to people around you some way, somehow. Something about you embodying the High Priestess, something about you embodying, like it feels good to be in the moment, to be a main character, to look at things in a very different in a different way, from a different perspective. And you're helping or forcing or igniting or charging other people or commissioning them to really look at their own lives from a whole different perspective. Pile number one, I'm also hearing that you're inspiring people to leave their 9 to 5. This is interesting, okay? So I don't know if maybe perhaps you left your 9 to 5, but you're inspiring other people to look for ways out, to look beyond the matrix once again, and really to uncover and to go through and to do that dark night of the soul work, to really do that inner work. What is it that has caused such heartache? What is it that has caused such heartbreak? What is it that is going on in your life that has kept you kind of mechanical and subdued and not really thinking or moving forward or experiencing progress? So pile number one, we have here the Seven of Wands, and how you being the main character is really healing other people is that you're helping people to stand up for themselves. You are helping people to stand on high, to really have everything, all the tools, and the confidence, most of all, to know that they have everything to really stand strong, to be 10 toes down, that you even got their 6, right? Even though this girl is clinging, I feel like this energy is more like, look, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, the next person can do it. I feel like you are the ripple effect. You are the butterfly effect. You are the chain reaction. You are the wavelength that is really causing many movements, micro movements that you can't even see around you. And pile number one, we love this for you. Also right here, we see that, you know, they're quite precarious perch right here. I mean, all these rocks, it could cause a landslide. I mean, we don't know what's going on right here, but we do know that there's a lot of people that want to attack. And pile number one, I feel like you have endured a lot. You have fought a lot, metaphorically, maybe even you've had to, you know, I don't know, fight family, fight coworkers, fight, you know, and this all has to do with your idea of what you want out of your life, getting out of the cookie cutter. And I feel like Okay, I have to write this down. Crabs in a bucket. You know that crabs in a bucket theory where it's not even a theory, it's a fact. If you get a whole bunch of crabs in a bucket and they manage to like climb on each other, and there's one crab that's about to make it out of the bucket, the next crab is going to grab it and yank that sucker down. Okay, this has to be on my thing. Anyways, thanks for being patient there. But the whole crab in the bucket concept really is being highlighted right here, because I feel like, I don't want to say you've been that crab that you climbed up and you escaped the bucket, but maybe perhaps. And honestly, I don't want to be like this, but here I am being like this. Pile number one, I definitely feel like you have reached kind of this point where you realize maybe you reached a boiling point, right? Maybe you reached a point where there's this other experiment where they did with frogs, and they gradually heated up the water, and it was gradually heated, and they gave them a little places to like stop and you know, and rest. Then the frogs had hope and they were okay. And but if it was completely taken out and they've got heated, something about like the heat, they didn't feel the heat. I think it might be two different experiments that I kind of mushify together. But bottom line, pile number one, 1313 on the clock right now. Yes, I feel like you are really shattering illusions. I feel like you help people break out of cookie cutter thinking. And another example, probably a more clear one, because I messed that first one up, the two frog things. Anyways, another example I can give you is I had a patient come in and they're like, oh my goodness. And they put their glasses on, they can see they were excited. And then they look in the mirror and there's this big frown. They're like, oh my goodness, look at my wrinkles and look at my under eyes and look at, and I just thought, you know, and I had to really share with them really quick. I was like, you know, that these mirrors are inverted. And so I feel like you really bring to light things that people never really think about. I think that you've done a lot of research. I think that you quite effectively have broken out of the matrix in a lot of ways, and you help people. Basically, the bottom line is that you inspire people to not only break out of the matrix, but really stand on 10, that they know that, you know what, I can open up a can of whip bleep if I have to, that I can be an advocate for myself, that I can even look at things that have really served to break my heart and rethink things through. How can I really use this to really glow up or change or modify, or do I need to change perspectives, right? And I can go into that, but this isn't like an hour-long reading because nobody will stick around for that. But pile number one, okay, I'll just touch on that really briefly. I feel like you help people revisit things that have really traumatized them or hurt them or really start to antagonize them, or really deep wounds that they have, maybe even subconsciously. And I feel like you help them to kind of get into all of that so that they can really see that there is a way out, that no, they have a reason for feeling how they feel. And it is legit, but they don't have to die on that hill, that they can really change, I don't know, the trajectory of the hill. So I'm hoping that these messages are coming through in a proper manner. Hopefully you guys are driving with it. So then we have the Fool and the Seven of Pentacles right here. And see, how is it that you being main character is really healing to others? Is that you help people to really feel strong, number one. I feel like you help people feel confident, that you help people really understand that they can embody their own skin. They don't have to be the perfect 10. They don't have to look magazine ready. They don't have to look like everybody else or keep up with the Joneses. That they could just be confident with their little shorts. Yeah, and their bowling shoes. I mean, I don't know what people are wearing nowadays, but whatever makes you happy. I feel like you help people feel inspired that they too can make a change. I feel also that maybe perhaps you've been in the public eye, or you've been open to a lot of scrutiny, and people have seen your glow up, your show up, and you're taking the reins into being the main character. And now people feel inspired by it, whereas maybe perhaps they were on board with criticizing you. So that's a message for someone out there as well. Pile number one, we have the Seven of Pentacles right here. And, you know, this is about you really inspiring other people to make an assessment of their life. Not only just an assessment of what is real, how they have conformed to a matrix or a paradigm that is not healthy for them, not good for them, or even perhaps not sustainable for them. And how are you being main character, very, very healing for other people, is pile number one, that you really help people take stock of things and say, well, you know, is this worthy of my time, my attention? Is it growing? Is it producing what I want it to produce? Am I really happy with, you know, the quintessential dream, the family, the wife, the husband, the kids? And is that really for me? Is there more beyond that? Is there something that I can create to bring things to the forefront? So all of these things, pile number one, make you incredibly dynamic. I feel like initially you could have gone through a stage where maybe you were kind of like trying to, you didn't quite fit in. You were trying to break free of things, the paradigm, whatever. And then you just embraced something that really made you incredibly happy. And I feel like you could have even monetized that and followed your intuition. And I feel like you're helping to redundancy. You're helping to show people that maybe perhaps they need to really examine their life again and see if indeed they are looking at their situation, their life, and their commitment to the trajectory that they're on, right? If we keep doing the same thing, we have forward momentum in a certain way, however you look at it, really. So I think that you massively change lives is really what I'm here to say. Anyways, much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, namaste. My name is Grisel with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number two, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, I've used this image before, probably more so on the other channel, PsychicMD. If you didn't know, I've got two channels. I've horribly neglected it, by the way, but I'm going to get back there. So, pile number two, I'm just going to say that this image is stunning to me anyways. But your downloads go as follows. The first download I got was Embracing That Lilith. Rebellion on mode 10. Inner dialogue activated. So it was really interesting. I kept getting these downloads on what I felt was gaming terms. And honestly, I'm not a gamer. Yeah, I'm sure you can't tell at all. So it was just a little bit interesting. I'm like, are you guys gamers? I don't know, but I guess your inner dialogue is definitely activated. With the matte black, you're all about the matte black aesthetics, and I am here for it. If I could have everything matte black, it would be a done deal. So I feel you. You could have like the claws on point, you know, the makeup, all of it. I think it's very beautiful. So unique changes physically, and you've made these changes to reflect really what is going on the inside. Hi, little squirrel. I haven't seen one of you guys in a little bit because it's been stormy and rainy. So maybe he's going to go get a snack. We don't know. So pile number two, unique changes physically. Yep. And you're feeling, oh yeah, to reflect calm and secure. So you feel very serene, very secure. And I also got that Kat Von D before the blackout ink, you know how that went down. But also the interesting part I thought that was a little bit different, unexpected for me, was that I feel like almost like in that cup where typically I feel like we would just, you know, offhand say, oh, she's got a cup of coffee. I feel like that cup would be more matcha or a chai tea or some kind of a tea or some kind of herbal healing thing. So we're going to see where this takes us. Pile number two, we're going to go ahead and do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Pile number two, welcome, welcome. And how are you, main character? And how or why is this healing others around you? So pile number two, you have, I'm Rama. Of course, I'm not going to say it right, but okay. Where are you being called to journey to? That's kind of juicy. Pile number two, you have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. Okay, I'm super excited for you. Do you see that face? Do you see that face in this stone? Now, this is going to be like an offbeat and a wild kind of side note, but I did a reading last night for a client and a friend, and she's a client and a friend anyways. But I did a reading for her. We're talking about different things, and she was telling me how she actually sees faces in trees, and especially before I moved from Phoenix, I was seeing these like huge faces in these ginormous trees, specifically like some of the palm trees around, and I would take pictures of them, and I'm like, can you, I mean, this is just wild. So I feel like you have this ability to see things that other people do not. Like even now I'm starting to look at this, and this is like somebody with their throat exposed, and they're looking to the heavens. So I'm seeing a couple of different faces here, but anyways, you're breaking the chains, ancestral patterns healing, and rewriting the future. And pile number 2, I would not be surprised that if you chose another one of the piles right here, I definitely feel like how you are main character is that you're listening to the call, that you are no longer feeling like this is a home, this Mother Earth just doesn't feel like home. I feel like you are really journeying back. You are opening up. You are really being ignited or charged or woken up by your ancestral lineage here. I'm seeing this as a fence right here all of a sudden. So I feel like you have broken and mended a lot of fences in the 5D, in your ancestral lineage in particular. But with the breaking of the chains right here, it tells me that you could be the underdog. You could be the black sheep. You could be the catalyst into really breaking ancestral patterns and changes within your family. And pile number 2, I don't feel like you're in, I kind of feel like this is a little bit new energy, new air quotes, meaning maybe the past 2 to 5 years maximum. But for most of you, I feel like it's going to be 2 years and forward, like maybe a year or so. Okay. So I feel like you're really breaking these ancestral chains. Yeah. And you're creating changes and causing a chain reaction, because anytime we change, other people around us are forced to change some way, somehow as well. So let's see where this takes us. How are you, main character? And why is this healing others? Now, pile number 2, don't judge my cards here. Well, you can. This is the Ascended Masters deck. I did buy this deck used, and this was all taped up, and I probably could have returned it, but I was like, meh, it's got character. So here we are. So you can do it with Archangel Michael, and I'm not going to try to even say the name of this person right here, but this is almost like, yeah, it's a master teacher. Okay, master, what is this called? Ascended Masters. Ascended Master Oracle. So pile number 2, if you, yeah, I don't know, if somebody wants to support the channel, y'all can go on my Amazon wish list. I think I have it linked, but I probably forgot. Who knows? I have a bunch of decks I'd like to use for the channel. If you are interested in supporting the channel, yeah, that happened. So you are teaching people how to break change in their family lineage, and sometimes, and a lot of times, it often does not feel good. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm breaking the chains. I'm hearing Dawkins in my brain. If you guys know, you know, breaking the chains around you. And I feel like along with that, it has served to feel uncomfortable. It's very liberating, but then this whole new world here, and you're like, wow, like now what do I do? So I feel like you're opening to possibilities of what is new for you. But in the process, I feel, being the black sheep, the trailblazer, the chain breaker, the curse breaker, I feel like you are really serving as a catalyst to people around you. And this is how you're healing others, because when these chains get broken, other people around you get woke. I feel like you are an incredible teacher right here. I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to read a little bit about what kind of a teacher this is, see if we can get more insight. I don't want to bore you with this. I'll be right back. And she's back. So pile number 2, yeah, this is definitely about teaching, you know, and I've always really believed that it's important to be a teacher, but it's also important to be a lifelong learner. So you're never, at least in my perspective, I'm going to speak for myself, I should never be always the one like teaching. If I'm not learning, then I'm not evolving. And if I'm not evolving, I'm not growing. And then what the heck am I teaching? That's just my idea of life and learning. But pile number 2 something that the book mentions right here. It says, this person or situation is bringing you important life lessons. Ask yourself, what's the blessing that the situation has brought me? Your life purpose involves teaching. Forgive a teacher from the past. Forgive a teacher from your past. You are urged to teach others. Yeah. And so this is handing down, passing down what it is that you know, like knowledge and wisdom and all that. But it's interesting because it talks about forgiving a teacher from the past. And pile number 2, I definitely feel like this alludes to maybe a past situation. Like, we look at teacher and we look at student in vastly different ways. We look at teaching as like, okay, this is a scholar. They've got these credentials. They've got this paper and they have these initials behind their name, and all of that is fine and dandy. But anything can be a teacher to us. It could be a dog. It could be a family member. It could be a work situation, or you know, a fellow employee. It could be anybody that can teach us lessons. And sometimes these lessons are cloaked as like igniting you or eliciting some kind of a like high emotion, which causes a whole chain reaction that we would not expect. And in the end, perhaps the original reaction or the chain reaction or the thing that you reacted to really is of no consequence. And I just mean that they were not meant to be designed for a long term. Now, this is really hard to explain, so I'm going to give you one of my life situations. So, you know, once upon a time, I had a boyfriend, and it just wasn't, obviously, it wasn't in the cards, friends. So pile number 2, what I'm going to say is that I already knew he was cheating, that all this stuff was going on. And I just started really bonding with my cards more because I needed concrete proof, or I thought I needed proof. And through this process, I really discovered that I was on point, my intuition was on point, and then my cards were on point. And ultimately, like, that person is of no consequence in my life right now, but that situation served as a catalyst. So those situations are what I'm talking about. It's like really healing wounds by breaking chains, by no longer being slave to ancestral patterns and things that maybe your family would have done or you would have done in the past. And I think that this is really serving to inspire other people. So pile number 2, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get some charms here. And then we're going to look at how is this healing for other people. But before I do, I just have a small request. I just noticed that I think less than 30% of you guys are subscribed. The people that watch my channel, less than 30% are subscribed. So if you would like to really support my channel, I'm asking that you do like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell if you feel led, right? You don't have to. And here we go. How are you, main character? I feel this juicy one right here too. Hello. So I forget actually what this is called. It's so juicy though. It feels so good. So yeah, this is very dualistic. Look at the opacity of this, and then it just seems it's very earthy. So I feel like there's something very earthy, very down to earth, very grounded about you. And people still can't really quite put their finger on things. They can't really quite figure things out, but that you really ground them. And then we have right here, what? The Empress. Yay. Yeah, so we have the Empress. And this is really igniting abundance and love and having a different perspective on things. But with the Empress, you have been, you've been all of the queens, right? The Tarot has 4 queens typically. And what we have right here is that you've embodied all 4 queens. You have unlocked those challenges and you have really glowed up and worked up to a different level. And pile number 2, I have these lungs right here, and I feel like this always looks like a screw. The spinal cord right here looks like a screw to me. So I feel like through the act of breathing, through the act of of changing, of being ignited, breaking chains like that. I feel like a lot of beautiful things have grown from this, and you are really reaping those rewards of things that are growing and have grown from you breaking through the paradigm and really causing a massive shift. And maybe perhaps this has caused like a massive rift between you and your family, and you know, that could be, but I feel like this is the only chance that they had to break their own chains as well, because we're responsible for our own actions. So pile number 2, I definitely feel like there's a lot more to be had, a lot more beauty, a lot more wisdom. And with our lungs, we breathe. And with those breaths, not only do we live, but we express ourselves. So I feel like something that has to do with how you are eloquently expressing yourself. And pile number 2, we have this little beaker guy with the eyeball once again. And so I feel like this is how you move through life in a very scientific manner. And I feel like you inspire other people, ignite other people. And we have like this x-ray of the cat. First of all, cats are mysterious. You could be very bonded to the other side as you break these ancestral changes. I feel like pile number 2, you are being cheered on by the other side. I feel also that this current world doesn't have a lot of mystery to you because you have broken through some kind of a matrix thinking or template, okay? Then we have peace right here. And we have the number 30. You guys can be in your 30s or January, March. I just count on my fingers. That could indicate March as well. But the number 30 could be of importance to you. And pile number 2, we have, what do we have here? We have the dragon, le dragon right here with the wings. And I'm just being told that you are fiercely protected. So do not stress, do not worry, but choose optimism. There is no fear to be had. I'm hearing fear is an illusion. And pile number 2, this is absolutely a channel message because I really struggle with that thought and that idea and that concept that fear is an illusion, but I can also get behind it. So I'm still working through that personally. What? That's hilarious. Pile number 2, we have fresh boy tears. Are you guys heartbreakers? What is going on here? So yeah, this little strawberry is sad, sad, sad strawberry. We're going to look at what else is going on right here. Pile number 2, how are you main character and why is this healing to others? You have the 3 of Pentacles. This is giving third party with the boy tears and the Pentacles. You have the 2 of Pentacles. I'm feeling third party. You have the 2 of Cups reversed. What in the world is going on? You have the Page of Cups. And you have the 6 of Swords. Wow. Now, pile number 2, I definitely feel like this could be third-party vibes for a lot of you guys. If you're not resonating with it, that is perfectly fine. Now, how this fits into the entire story, you are a main character because you've broken through some massive templates, some massive ways of doing things, some massive repetitious ways that you've seen maybe your parents do, your grandparents do, and so on and so forth. And how this is really healing to other people is I feel like perhaps you're expressing, like I shared with you my story, the catalyst on maybe how I got even deeper into tarot and how it just really helped me to grow so much. And it helped me to really uncover truths that I just desperately needed at the time and still do. And it's just really cool. So I feel like this is part of your gift to the world. This is how you're healing others, is that in conjunction with like really tough times and breaking chains, ancestral change in particular, and it could be like the slavery change too, right? A lot of us believe, not everybody, but I do, that this is a slave planet. And so pile number 2, I definitely feel like this can allude to the issues and situations like that. But if we want to bring it back to third party, this is talking about somebody being really a strategist. I feel like somebody got caught red-handed right here. Other people like, yep, and they were juggling, that kind of a thing. And there was a lot of emotion, rocking the ocean, you know. And it could be that you're undergoing that currently. It could be pile number 2 that you, are undergoing a situation like that, or that you are aware that there is a third party, or that you yourself, the number 1010 right now on camera, have inserted or been some way, somehow involved in a third party. Now, I'm just going to say that, you know, there is no judgment on this channel. We all do what we do and we learn what we learn. So pile number 2, you did choose the number 2, right? The image number 2, but this was reversed. I feel like you have a really deep connection, and how you are healing other people is that you're helping them to see, break the chains that they are deeply committed to, connected to, or behavior that is not healthy, it is not conducive, it is not elevated, it is lower vibrational, and behavior that really hurts other people and it hurts thyself. So I feel like you're really making it obvious through your own behavior, through your choices, maybe what it is that you're speaking on, that is just not healthy and not acceptable for you. And I feel pile number 2, that you're helping other people be optimistic, that they can really break out of paradigm shifts themselves. Also, pile number 2, I feel like perhaps you have an apology coming, or somebody wants to apologize if this is your narrative, your story. And it could be somebody that you moved away from, or they moved away from you. Or perhaps this is stating that you have broken generational curses, and it is helping you to navigate into calmer waters, and it is helping you to be a little bit more optimistic about things, and also not to take the 2 of Cups lightly, right? This is a soulmate connection, but not to really accept a soulmate because it feels good in the moment, or it feels good but this person is tied to somebody else, and accept things like less than we deserve. Pile number 2. You know, once again, if you're in a poly family or whatever, that's a whole different situation. Y'all know about each other, etc. So I'm not going to break it down further because I know you guys are super smart and I don't have to really go there. But pile number 2, I feel like with this medical thing going on here, I also feel like there could be like medical repercussions, and you are breaking through that paradigm as well. The number 1212, it is almost like 1313, right? And I feel like what that is stating is that maybe perhaps you have suffered medical backlash because of these generational curses and things like that. If you don't believe in that, then you can just think of it as generational patterns. Did your grandmother sit and watch TV for days on end and do a little bed rotting, that kind of a thing? Or were your parents in toxic relationships and there was always fussing and fighting and drama and pulling and the cops are being called and somebody slamming doors and leaving and returning, and then they repeat the cycle all over again? So this could really be anything. But pile number 2, I feel like this is healing to other people because you're helping them to discover that this is poisonous, right? That whatever poisonous situation is, I don't want to say easily rectified, but the beginning of that rectification is going to be them admitting that it is toxic, that is not sustainable, that it is not healthy, that it doesn't represent love, in spite of like the intensity of feelings or the intensity of connection or the commitment, even if it's your family lineage, that kind of a thing. If it is toxic, pile number 2, I feel like you have really served to be of inspiration to other people, that they're starting to see that, you know what, if it's toxic, that's what it is, and we will treat it as such. If it is a poison, we will identify the poison and remove it. If it is unhealthy, we will identify that and move accordingly. And I feel like that is how you are inspiring other people. This is how you're healing other people. They take great strength in your strength and great inspiration from your behavior, your perspective, and your ability to choose optimism. Last thing that I want to part with, pile number 2, is I'm looking right here with the optimism. Choose optimism. And I'm hearing, I saw the signs and it opened up my eyes. I saw the signs. So a little ace of base there for you guys. Yep, I can't sing, but that's okay. Listen, pile number 2, we choose optimism. And I'm very optimistic that you're going to get the meaning in spite of my singing, right? That kind of a thing. So choose optimism. I feel like you have the ability to see the signs like right in front of you, right from everybody else. And you help other people to tune into that energy, that no longer are we turning a blind eye to things that are right in front of us, that we are here to really observe, not absorb, and to reflect and to make moves accordingly. So this is how you are healing others, by being main character. I love that for you. Let me give you a round of applause because these are massive, massive boss babe moves. Boss moves. So that's what I have for you. Until next time, much love to you. Namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen. And your downloads go as follow. I got that you're clairaudient, and it's being further developed. So if you think you got it going on right now, boy, you are not done growing in this area. I love that for you, by the way. So pile number 3, dreams and astral projection is a thing with you. Dragonflies on the chest really indicate that you can make moves that are really unexpected for anyone and everyone around you. I feel like also you could make moves that surprise even yourself. The flower, this is probably my favorite image out of all of them. I don't know. But the flower on all of those beautiful, like silver, I don't know, decor that she's wearing, it's really beauty on the mind. Butterflies decorate you, the throat chakra, very active, controlled, concise, and the dimples. Pile number 3, you could have dimples, you could have a wicked sense of humor, you could be considered, what is that? I'm getting like very British vibes, or like the mindset you don't have to be British, or your accent could be British, or you could be like Indian, have like a very beautiful accent that is British as well. I don't know. But I feel like these dimples are just popping through, and a little bit of a devilish sense of humor is really what I'm getting thus far. Something about your smile is really mesmerizing. So pile number 3, how are you main character? Well, we're going to find out as we do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome. Pile number 3. How are you main character? And why is this healing others? Or how is it healing others? Pile number 3. Hello. Oh, we have the priestess. Okay, I peeked when I was shuffling. I saw the priestess here, but I didn't want to pick her out because I wanted her to come out naturally. So we might have double confirmation, but I seen it. So the energy is right here. Pile number 3, you have Unbound. I feel like all 3 piles, frankly, feel very vibrationally like different chapters of the same book, which would really make sense to me. Pile number 3, it's not like we're repeating stories per se, but I feel like if we're vibrationally drawn, or you're drawn to this channel, there is a reason, right? We're sharing some similarities at this stage in life. Also, pile number 3, I keep hearing this song, and I'm like, I think it's the Cranberries, but I don't know for sure. It's like, you know I'm such a fool for you. That one. You had me wrapped around. I don't know. Your finger, I think you had. Okay. So that could mean somebody for somebody. I don't know what's going on here just yet. The High Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? What? We have Unbound with releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah. Now, I feel like this is going to be a little bit different because right away, pile number 3, I feel like you are very connected with sacred geometry, geometrical patterns. I also feel like you are into like the vibrational, like wavelengths and harmonics, and I heard microdosing. Okay, so that could be for somebody. I feel like you have an incredibly different perspective. You have a very broad range of resources that is coming towards you, to you. And I feel like most of this is being downloaded through like the 5D, through your own like ancestors, or through spirit. Whatever it is that you connect with, whatever it is that you channel yourself. Pile number 3, and let's get a little bit more information right here. How are you main character? This is like super fun. Oh, focus on your strengths. What? Let's get in there. Let's hear it for the people in the back row. People sitting in the back. Apollo, focus upon your strengths. Yeah. Do not focus upon your weaknesses. And this is you grabbing all that is out there for you to grab in the ethers. Pile number 3, how your main character is that you actually do grab onto those. And now I have to tell you, I don't know why I'm telling you these like old boyfriend stories, but once upon a time I had this other boyfriend, different from the story in pile 2. And this other boyfriend was like, I don't know, he was super intelligent. I really liked, he was well-spoken, whatever. And he would tell me, he's like, it's only a matter of time before we merge with AI, before we become like one, before we become digital, coming from analog or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he was like even too advanced for my thinking. I feel like he was at the time for sure. So pile number 3, focusing on your strengths. I feel like you are that person that like downloads your own Grabovoi codes and things like that. So you're somebody who really, yeah, the number 333, you, even Nikolai Tesla believed in numbers and how everything is based by number. And it, you know, if you look, there's certain buildings that have a repetition of numbers and so on. So you could be somebody like that. Pile number 3, you have right. Wow. Maybe you have a book in you. Maybe you, yeah, there's a lot of lunar energy right here. Maybe you're connected to divine feminine. Maybe you definitely download and channel from spirit. You could have a very active crown chakra as well. And yeah, but there's definitely something here that you need to teach other people. And that I know it's right as in writing a book, but I also feel like you are right. I'm being told that you are right. So whatever hunch that you have, whatever ideas that you have, you are on the right path, I'm being told. Okay. So I also feel like you could be really drawn to, ancient history. You could watch like Ancient Aliens and history and UFO Uncovered, or I don't know your life, right? But I'm gonna say also that there's something about like sacred geometry with like even the triangles being like the strongest shape. I'm like, Grisel, math was not your strength. Don't even pretend. And I'm not. I'm just saying. This is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm downloading, okay? And I feel like perhaps some of you guys are used to like sound healing. You're using sound healing, sound waves. You're checking into like wavelengths. I'm also hearing infrared, and I guess that's kind of a whole different topic, but I feel like you guys definitely are kind of fitting the bill a little bit more of my conspiracy theorist. You guys think outside the box, you download, you channel, and also I feel like you have this very adventurous spirit, like the what if, and maybe perhaps that's that impish grin. I feel like also pile number 2, that you are main character in the fact that you know that you have a powerful effect on other people. And I'm hearing aromatic, like aroma, maybe aromatherapy. You could be very fragrant to other people, and this could be metaphorically, but also like you could smell dang good. I'm just saying, okay? But when people get around you, like they want to smell you. That's funny. When people get around you, they feel like, even if they look at you from afar or from pictures, you look like you would smell mighty fine. That's all. I'm going to leave it there because we're trying to keep it PG and not get flagged, right, for monetization here. Anyways, pile number 3, I definitely feel like you have an incredibly collaborative spirit. You could really be into like astral projecting, yeah, and getting in touch with Gaia, but also spirit itself, right? Astral projection. This to me reminds me of the chords of your spirit or your soul being connected. And somebody here watches Sloan. Oh my gosh, I forget her name. She's beautiful. She's got really short blonde hair and she is so on point. And I forget Sloan Bella something. If I remember, I'll attach it here, but if not, can you guys please write it down if you know, because I really love her, but I always forget like her name. So for some reason, I feel like you could have information easily accessible to the other side. Also, I'm being shown that actually you could get downloads. Sloan did something about the Joker, right? She did the Joker and she went on and talked about the character that played the Joker and what really transpired and why he has crossed over, and basically that it was a ritual. And I don't know, you'd have to watch it for yourself. And right now, pile number 3 is, I was like kind of trying to remember what she was talking about. I'm looking into the forest, which is another form of my divination right here. And I'm actually seeing it's it's a shrub. It's some kind of a baby tree. It's not a full-fledged tree. It's a fledgling. And what I'm seeing in there is a little, like is it a mushu animal? They're the little protectors. They're little animals. I don't know what they're called, but I have 2 of them somewhere. Yeah, but they're little protectors, so that can mean something for someone. We're going to keep it pushing here because that took a long time to channel. Sorry about that. Pile number 2, we're going to go ahead and get into why is this healing for others. But first, I'm going to go ahead and pull some charmies because, you know, we love the charms. I'm going to pull charms before I do. If you can please like, share, comment, subscribe if you're resonating with my channel. I know that less than 30% of you actually subscribe, which, you know, it's fine, whatevs. But if you would like to see more of my channel, go ahead and click that notification bell for more messages or notifications when I do download more videos. Pile number 2, how are you main character and why is this healing to others? I'm already seeing the ghost. I have to take it. What is going on? And I'm hearing hello, hello again. I didn't mean to take that many, but here we are with a ton of charms. Pile number 3, you have, yeah, you're very scientific. You're very scientific. I feel like you kind of test things out and you don't give yourself entirely, but you always hope that things are going to work out. You always hope. I feel like you have used yourself as a science experiment. And what I mean by that is you're kind of like, ooh, I'm getting a lot of activation of my crown chakra. I feel like you're thinking, well, you know what? Let me see if this is a real download, if this is true. The Grabovoi codes or sacred geometry or whatever, even using crystals and so on. I feel like you test it on yourself and you're like, yeah, well, it worked for me and I noticed a big change. And then you start incorporating things that really work for you. But you're very scientific, methodical. You could have a journal about your gifts and how you are developing or things that you really see unfolding in the future. Pile number 3, you're too close. Ha! You like your personal space, don't you? And pile number 3, I feel that as well. So I feel like you are someone who doesn't need a lot of people around, a lot of outside approval. I feel like what you do is there's a lot of inner dialogue, a lot of downloading from the other side. And I feel like you really take what works and leave the rest. And you have divine protection. Never forget, pile number 3, that you are protected. What? Your money is protected. If you've been a little bit like freaked out by the economy or freaked out by changes and whatnot, you have money coming, like money comes to me easily, that kind of a thing. Yeah, and you are the Empress, okay? So you are incredibly grounded, very well thought of. I feel like you've been all the 4 queens. I almost said 5 queens, but she is more powerful. There is, you know, there are 4 different queens in the deck, but of the Empress, there's only 1. Pile number 3, there's only 1 of you. You're incredibly unique. You are in touch with your divination. With being the High Priestess, you are privy to knowledge on the outside of the swirl, outside of the firmament, outside of the stratosphere, all of it. And then we have Ghost right here. So maybe perhaps the things that you have talked about, sir, even in passing, even like subtle things you mention to people, I'm hearing in your line of duty. So maybe you're affiliated with like law enforcement or the court system or something like that, or justice in some way, somehow. I don't know. Your life is different. And pile number 3, we are reading optimistically for the masses. So we also have this cat right here that is, I'm all radioactive. Well, you could see through the bones. And I feel like you have this ability to look at someone and dissect and get right down to the nitty gritty, right down to what they are entirely composed of and what upholds them and what it is that they are all about. You are not easily fooled, not at all. And then we have love right here. So write about love, maybe write about ghosting or somebody who ghosted you, or how you linger in the memories of, or maybe perhaps this could be the ghost of other people that have crossed over that you are still connected with. Yeah. So pile number 3, you have the yin and yang. People feel very close to you. And it seems like, I don't feel like you're a change agent necessarily. I feel like you unlock and unleash what is already activated in other people. I feel like because you start talking about something, other people like, me too. Whereas the other piles, I feel like it was slightly different. They were like activating people. I feel like you help people bring it to the forefront. And whatever it is, I feel like you help people monetize that. What is going on here with you and money? You got a great relationship because you realize it is simply energy. There is no lack except our emotions and mentality and like our contracts and what we will into this world as well. And I feel like pile number 3, you're all about like, hey, I can monetize that. Hey, you want an idea for business? And I'm like that too. Pile number 3, I feel like my brain is a little, well, yeah, glitchy. It is, but also like I'm really inspired. So I could be like, yeah, that could serve as a good business and that would be a nice business. And I feel like it would be very serviceable to people around you, very pragmatic. What it would not probably be, just in my case, might be necessarily legal. Okay. So that is a me problem, not a thee problem. Okay. But what I'm saying about that, and I don't mean anything like nefarious necessarily, but for me, my idea would be, you know what? I feel like let's say I could cook really well, which really I don't anymore. I just don't. But whatever. Let's say I'm really good at cooking and I have an artistic way about it. And I live in an area that's really wooded and there's a lot of elderly people. They don't want to cook anymore and so on and so forth. And let's say perhaps I just want to make dinner and I want to make a big batch of dinner because I love cooking for an army, which is actually kind of true. And let's say that out of that army, I take what, a 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius tops, and I make these meals for people around. And so they would sign up and have, 3 meals a week. And this is what's on the menu that week. They could pass or whatever. So you would be basically cutting out the middleman. But that's my idea. And I'm like, I don't care if it's, legal for me. I have issues with that, but whatever. I just love how the government takes your money 2, 3, 4, 5 times and they still keep reaching in your pockets. But that's me. Okay, enough rant. Pile number 3. Sorry, I didn't know I was going to make this super long, but we're at 14 minutes already. Pile number 3, something about the lungs. Maybe you could be long-winded like me. Maybe you could have a little bit of squirrel thinking right here, but you are divinely protected, okay? Yeah, I feel like you uncover and reveal mass around you. I feel like also people are thinking, wow, you reveal yourself to other people. Like, you are no longer utilizing those like social masks, like, oh yes, I play it perfect. And oh yes, I believe that, this is for the good of the land, that I really make my business ideas open for, everybody to reach into my pocket because that's a necessary thing. When instead it's like, hey, these people need something to eat. I'm a cook. I'm cooking anyways. Let's just do it. And it could be a very small exchange of favors or whatever, that kind of a vibe. Okay, so pile number 3, yeah, baby. So in this case, I feel like this is one of my all-time favorite little charms here. This person is flipping the table. So I'm hearing or seeing that somebody is in IT and they just get really frustrated. I feel like they feel a little bit trapped in condition. They feel a little bit like, okay, well, yes, ma'am. Did you try turning it on and off again? Did you power down the whole way? Or did you just exit? Did you, did you try Control Alt Delete? It's all like very basic things. And that you could be sick of it, and you show people, hey, it's okay to be sick of this because you know what? You have more that you bring to the table than just that. And pile number 3, how does this inspire? How does this inspire? Oh, the last one. With the piece upside down, you're about flipping tables spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You're about ready to cause a ruckus or rackus. I don't know how to pronounce that either. But we about ready to flip it, baby. How are you main character? I'm feeling like super feisty and I'm not. Well, maybe I am a little bit. But pile number 3, how you inspire others by embodying your main character right here. You give them clarity. You help them to see what it is that they're lacking in their own life, right? You help them to see that, you know what? There's always the man that you got to visit. There's always somebody shadowing and following you for a very small few. Very small few. I don't want to freak anyone out. But I feel like pile number 3, you could really expose how basically we are, we put ourselves on the internet, right? Including myself. We do all the social medias. We're the ones that are liking everything. And then we're shook and surprised when, lo and behold, our phones are like really listening in. And it's 1950 again, we're like, yeah, we got to be careful because our wires are tapped. Well, they are. and so on and so forth. So pile number 3, I feel like with this shadow person right back here, I feel like you really alert people to the fact that, hey, there is a different way of doing things, that it has been like this since the beginning of time is what I'm hearing. But yeah, you help people to really realize what is important to them and how to protect and shield themselves, or at least how to be aware of things, which is really, really powerful. How also pile number 3, you help people really think about things in a whole different manner. Like with the 5 of Pentacles right here, you help people to see that, you know what, and sorry about my fake believe henna right here, it is, I'm trying to wash it off anyways. Pile number 3, I feel like with this 5 of Pentacles, people that are undergoing really tough times, you really serve to really heal other people, because they could be like, oh my gosh, and I don't have a job, and I have this, and I have that. And then you're like, yeah, but you can cook, you can clean, you have services, you have friends, you have, you know, like there are other resources. And in the end, like money is currency, right? Money is energy. And all energy could be considered currency. So you could be bartering. You could tell them, you know what, friend, don't freak out. We're going to get this, you know, you'll get through this too. But you inspire the people, because out of like nothing, you could make something. You could inspire that friend and say, you know what, if you're living in this area, what if you decided that you were going to mow 5 people lawns, and you know, then you're going to have your electricity and your rent paid for. I don't know, but you get the gist of things. Or maybe you serve as soccer mom and you're like, I'm going to carpool because I have a child and I have no way to make an income right now because I have to look after my little ones as well, and this one needs to go to school. And all of a sudden you are soccer mom for the village, and you're like, hey, everybody, you know, train leaves at this time, we're doing this. And you are that soccer mom that moves people to and from. Or you take other people's children, little Johnny, to and from, to, you know, the dance, I don't know, options, their dance rehearsals or whatever. So I feel like you help people to think, you know what, don't just think in linear, like this money has to hit the bank and this is, you know, because part of that, you know, it's just real life. But I feel like you help people think outside the box. Even here, pile number 3, I feel like this is almost like a window broken, and you serve to hand over clarity to other people. Whereas before we were hand-fed clarity or hand-fed a narrative, I feel like you're handing over the sword, the word of truth, and the ability to really crack open those emergency things so that they can actually see for themselves what's going on. Pile number 3, we have the 6 of Pentacles. This is the haves and the have-nots, but this is also balance. This is Libra energy, clearly. And pile number 3, I feel like you're healing other people by being the main character, because I feel like you are giving back to your community, that you share whatever has been sustainable and stable with you, whatever has really served to stabilize you and help you and really balance you and given you a new perspective, a new outlook on life, if you will. You're giving little bits of that to other people as well. And this can serve in the form of advice, rehearsal. This could be whatever it is that we just like talked about. But I feel like you think outside of the box. With the 8 of Wands, things happen quickly and people get inspired by you quickly. Now, I'm going to share with you just really quick. There is, you know, a situation where I was, 2 people actually, I was just trying to go through drills. Like a friend of mine way back when did drills with me when I didn't know how to navigate a situation. I couldn't speak up for myself. And she really like enlightened me and gave me some words of wisdom. And through verbal coaching, I would, you know, they would play the villain and I would like, you know, try to stand up for myself. And then she would poke at the weak spots and I'd be like, ouch, that doesn't feel good. So pile number 3, you could be that person that you really help your friends or other people, or see that there are different ways to handle things. And then maybe perhaps you tell them, you know what, friend, you can't speak for yourself either, but I had a hard time. And I, for one, really, and this is true, by the way, I felt like rather than speaking my truth, I would rather swallow barbed wire. And I felt this way when I was a teenager. Well, lo and behold, did this cause problems in my life? Oh my goodness, yes. One moment, please. And we're back. So you're that person that you really help people see things through quickly. You help movement in their lives. Oh my gosh, I'm choking. So yeah, then the Queen of Pentacles right here, front and center. And you help people see, you know what? This is what matters. This is how you can be self-sustained. This is how you, friend, or people watching, can be your own master of your own life. Wow, my throat chakra is really wild right now. So maybe perhaps you share with other people. I too have had a hard time speaking my truth. I'll probably block that out, but Pile number 3, Queen of Pentacles right here. We love this energy for you. You're willing to disrupt the peace to really help other people have it, and as they should. Sorry about my voice. It is wild out here. But that's all I have for you. Much, much love for you. Until next time, namaste.